Some people say you can't make money in shorts. You can make money in shorts. You can definitely make money in shorts.
That is Grubbud, a concrete contractor who discovered a YouTube strategy that helped him grow his channel to over 250,000 subscribers and over 250 million views.
The way your shorts are going to go viral really is you got to get that.
And in this episode of the Profit From Your Passion podcast, you're going to learn his exact strategy so you can maximize your views on shorts and be able to monetize your passion. So with that, let's hop into this. So Grubbud, tell me about your channel and, just a bit about yourself as well.
I'm a concrete channel. At first I was kind of doing, not really how-tos, but kind of like tutorial concrete videos. I'd record clips and then I would put it in a story. Basically pretty easy. It took me about 8 months to get to 1,000 subscribers. I grinded out. 15 months into my YouTube career, I finally got a viral hit. And when I say viral, 600,000 views on a 25-minute video. And I think you watched it. It was my very first, and basically it hit. And I didn't know what to do because sometimes when you hit, you don't know how to carry the momentum. And that was kind of what it was. But I did carry a little bit and I got some solid supporters. But then then that winter, I slowed down on work and I only had a few videos that were concrete, so I had to space them out. And it was after I made that decent little hit on there, it went back down to 37 cents a day in that winter. And I had hit a couple times where I got it to where I was making $100 a month. And at that point in time, I remember my goal was to make $100 a month, but it still wasn't about the money because what's really $100 a month? You know what I mean? And that was kind of my goal, and I got that. And then the whole time I'm hearing shorts are getting ready to pay, but I'm already doing shorts a little bit. It's kind of in a depression state, man. Like I didn't know if I wanted to do YouTube anymore. That winter was really hard making that $100 a month. So I waited like a month till after they started paying for shorts, and then I went for it, and it exploded. It exploded and got me all the way up to dang near 250,000 subscribers. And that, now I can have a silver plaque in the background, just like you, Colin.
Yeah, you're like right at 250,000. I think when I was trying to make the title for this, like I was thinking, like I typed in 247 million views, and then I go back today and it's now 255 million views. It's like, oh, he just went up, a casual 7 million before we even were able to record this thing. And like,
yeah, it's crazy,
insane. So like, what was it that you kind of figured out that really allowed you to take off in shorts? Like what were you making? And
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So like I told you, I learned a little bit from this guy, Rob Benjamin. What I'm making is I'm making a comedy of a story. I got 1 minute to make a comedy story of basically somebody messing up concrete or somebody driving a bobcat off the side of something, or I've got 1 minute to do it. And a lot of times I'm getting these clips from Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. People are sending them to me because now they see me doing it. I see a dog running the concrete on TikTok. I'm clipping that. You know what I mean? Then I'm going to clip it up and I'm going to make my own story. And when I say clip it up, I guess we can get into the strategy a little bit here. What I always wanted to do, what I learned is you got to have a great hook in a short, because a hook's like a thumbnail. You got 1 or 2 seconds before a swipe. So you got to have a good hook within the first 1-2 seconds. And that's what I learned. So anytime that I noticed that these guys were messing up, I would say, all right, first I'm going to do is I'm going to take that part and I'm going to put it right at the beginning and I'm going to say something about it. And doing that makes it a different story because you're not just using the same clip. I'm already clipping it up and I'm talking, narrating it makes it a little bit different. So you're not just taking a clip and posting it over there. Although I did do that early on. I didn't know any better, but they weren't paying for shorts anyway. But I did learn, and you can go back to my very first reaction if you want to put it in here, man. It's basically me on a green screen, like you say, but I'm actually talking and I'm so shy, have zero energy. You know what I mean? Because it was something new, but it was, and at the very end it says Grubbud Reactions. You know what I mean? But it was a short, and it was way before they started paying for them. And I was like, but it was pretty bad, man. And I was so shy. But it was definitely, I was the first one to start doing it. And I know I said that before, but now everybody's doing it. But I understand.
Everyone's doing it. Like I
Yeah,
see, if you were to put like what are the 5 types of like viral content that exists, like one of those items would be reaction content, reacting to some sort of video. And I
yep,
think like what makes it such a good idea as well is that like when you are gathering these clips, like a lot of them are viral content. Like they already went
already.
viral for certain reasons. And so you're taking that and now that's going to be part of your video, but you're not just necessarily uploading it as its whole, but you are adding to it and adding your perspective. And then as you build that community around you, now they are interested in your perspective and how you react to different content. What are some of the things you are saying or doing that is making that hook so good?
You got to have a visual and a verbal hook if you really want to go viral. What I mean by that is the visual hook. You took the very most viral part and you put it in the very front. And then you also talk about that most viral part, but you have a lot of energy. You don't want to sit there and just be down on yourself and talk about it. You it might do something, but if you really got a lot of energy, um, and basically one on a few, I made it to where it almost sounded like I was rapping. There was like almost like a I can't explain it really, but everybody kept on saying it sounded like you were rapping, and it like on a couple of them, and so I kind of did that on a few. So like we got the hook. You got to have a verbal and a visual hook.
Yeah.
All right, so we got that part. Right after the hook, I have a transition in CapCut. One of those, you know what I mean? And you really could put a sound effect in it. I don't, but because I got the same music, but you could put a sound effect in it. But I always want to get stuff moving on shorts. So uh, usually come back with the always with the captions. Usually, 95% of the times I want the captions on there, and there's certain ones you're gonna like. I do recommend always using the same color. I didn't do that. I kind of did, but always using the same color because it's almost like your thumbnail pictures, um, and it's branding as well. But so always use the captions. But you got 1 minute to tell a story. You don't always want to use the whole minute. If you can, you want to make your short as possible, but still tell the story. If the story is a guy walked in wet concrete, sometimes I show that wet concrete part very first, and then we'll tell the story leading back up to it. So, um, okay, I record when I'm recording my voice. I record the hook, and then I stop. All right. Then I record my next part, and then I stop. I say one sentence at a time. It's just like, editing a long form video.
And you're just voiceovering this, like within CapCut, like you're holding your
Yeah.
tablet or your phone up and you're clicking the record button and just saying each sentence and getting all the
Yeah.
different audio lines in there.
Yeah. I do recommend getting you a phone. This one plugs right into a phone or a tablet, which I am not a computer editor.
So, like, what's your whole process with, I guess, ideation and everything with that?
What do you mean by ideation? Using
Like generating
too big of
ideas.
words.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
like coming up with ideas.
Oh, okay. So when the idea comes almost right away when I'm seeing it on TikTok or when I'm seeing it on Facebook, and it just comes so natural to me. All right, I see that. I want to put the guy falling through the wood first, and then we're going to tell the story of how it got there. And we want to record in clips and basically, but so the controversy part, people, the way your shorts are going to go viral really is you got to get that comment section jumping. It's the comment section on shorts. It's the likes help. The engagement helps a lot more on shorts than it does on long form. I think the engagement is everything on shorts. And of course watch time. You got to have the average watch time. If you got I would say a 22-second short, that's like a good uh, that's a decent little place to start at if you're new. I wouldn't go, because if you're new, you don't want to go real long because you're probably not that great at it yet. So if you keep it around 20 seconds for a little while, practice with that and um, use that energy recording clips. But the controversy, like I said, you do have to be careful with the controversy. You don't want to use it on every one. Uh, Especially if you're going big with the controversy. And what do I mean by controversy? Like uh All right, we'll go to that one where that kid was 4 years old doing the concrete. I knew he wasn't 4 years old, but he really was a little guy for how old he was. He was probably 8. Everybody and their brother wanted to tell me that he wasn't 4 years old or that it was a beautiful clip and they loved it. So I got some people loving me and some people hating me again. And then what you do now, your pinned comment is really important because now you can't pin a link. So you want to pin one of those controversial comments or one of those really good comments with a lot of likes. You want to pin that at the top or a real funny one and then reply to it. Definitely reply to your comments on shorts. I see some people missing out on that. But reply to it, try to be a little funny and stuff. And if you get one rolling, pin that. And for some reason, man, the ones that go viral, people want to comment on that short and read those shorts. And as they're doing that, of course, most of the time your short's just playing in the background, catching that average watch time, just rolling. Think about how many times, if you're leaving a long comment, that thing probably played through 9 times. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
uh, those comments are very important, and the controversy. But like I said, you got to be careful with the controversy. You don't want to use it every time because you can push people away.
True.
Oh, this guy's capping. This guy's capping.
And I think the interesting thing with like that you've noticed where it's like when the comments start popping off, the video starts popping off is like the one thing I've always thought is like, because there's people I've encountered where it's like you have to get a certain amount of likes for it to go viral or comments or things like that. But all those are signs of someone just watching your video in general. Like if they watch
X.
through, they're going to comment on it and engage with that content. They're not going to watch 5 seconds and leave a comment. Um,
Yeah.
Also, by being controversial, you are so much more shareable because people want to share those videos with their friends, whether they think it's like, oh my word, I can't believe this person said this, or if it's from that other side where it's like, man, this was an awesome video or a funny video. Like that all just makes it more shareable content that just gets more eyeballs on your content. I absolutely love that.
And let me tell you something else. If you see somebody use your content, if you do go viral and you see somebody use your content, like green screen it, or uh, if they're using it and then they remix it and then they say something about it, that's helping. You're still getting paid off that content because YouTube's looking at it like it's your content. So I do believe it's because I've tried it one time and it still said I was splitting the revenue with the other creator. So with the original. So basically, um, what I do if I see somebody use my content, I'll go over there and let that thing play 10 times. And I'll leave a comment and I'll like every single comment in the whole group. And I'll basically push theirs as much as I can with mine because if they're doing better, it's just a bundle, man. Because YouTube, that goes in the analytics too. So, and then I'll also comment. I'll say, man, I appreciate you. And this one dude, I got one guy that uses my stuff every single time I post, and it's funny, it's cool. I'm like, use it as much as you want.
Nice, nice.
It
And
got him 1,000 subscribers. It got my guy 1,000 subscribers. So hey,
awesome.
yeah.
Um, and and probably that kind of leads us into um fair use content and the do's and don'ts of like taking a video and using it. Because I know you said early on like you were just uploading the video, didn't realize that wasn't probably the best idea. What is a good path to kind of go down as it relates to using other people's content?
Okay. Well, do you know the rule? Do you know the rule by chance?
At least on YouTube's side, I can see that it needs to be transformative is usually the wording they use, where it's adding new expression, meaning, or a message, uh,
Or value?
or value. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right. So it's got to be transformable. Okay. So what I do right at the very beginning, I transformed it and put the hook right at the start. I use my voice behind it. Um, right there. And I'm not, for one, right there, I transformed it. And I added value because I made people laugh, or I showed them they shouldn't do this. They shouldn't pour concrete on top of grass because I'm going to clown on you. I mean, because it's going to break up. You know what I mean? And yeah, other than me clowning on you, you're good. No, but yeah. So I'm trying to add some sort of value, whether it be a hidden message and not to pour on grass, but whatever. But um, yeah, so I see some like early on, like I said, I did that before a couple times before. Like I took a whistle and diesel, but I transformed it. This was my let me tell you about my very, 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 very first viral thing was a whistle and diesel thing I made. I just kind of transformed it, but he was pouring concrete in the back of a truck and I thought it was funny and he squatted it, and had a bunch of concrete in the back of the truck. So I transformed it up and chopped it up in different speed, but I didn't do my voiceover. But I had Cody, which is Whistle and Diesel, still talking in the background, and then all the concrete coming out. 66,000 views in an hour. I didn't even know about it. I woke up, I took a nap, woke up, and had 66,000 views. And this was like early on. This was like a year into my YouTube career. Uh, so I kind of knew at that. I stumbled across people. When one of my subscribers said, "Yeah, people like dumb." People love dumb. They love stupid stuff. And I was like, it kind of, my subscriber kind of, shout out Grumpy Old Concrete Guy on YouTube. He kind of made it to where I realized, man, look, I could do something like this, but I didn't know the rules back then. Although I did transform the stuff, but I didn't know the rules. So, but I did find out the rules. But I had a good teacher, Rob Benjamin. He definitely said that you have to transform it. When you're putting captions in it, you're also transforming it. Uh, but yeah, definitely don't just take a clip and post it up there with you know, a TikTok logo. I see some guys, they'll have their TikTok logo, but what they do is they put a sticker over it. And
Mm,
I know a guy that did that and he got demonetized, but he even narrated it, but he didn't really transform it. He had like a really monotone voice. He just put two stickers over the thing. He didn't clip it up or anything. And this clip has already been viral on YouTube. So YouTube saw three of those and they demonetized his channel. And he wasn't that worried about it, but it also was in a niche. Like YouTube doesn't like certain niches really. They don't like the 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 anything violent for one. They don't really like the body cam stuff that much, which I do think there's a lane there, but they don't really like that too much, and they don't like inside prison stuff that much. I don't feel like a lot of the prison guys have trouble with demonetization and stuff. But so yeah, you got to be careful. But as long as you're transforming it, I think, and adding value, the value can be described in a lot of different ways. And I definitely feel like I provide some sort of value, or you know, um, at least a laugh or a giggle.
yeah.
That's value to me.
And I think something else that I think is important with this conversation too, and this is something I'm still trying to figure out because I do want to go this route myself of getting into some kind of reaction content. Um, but finding ways to somehow credit or link back to whoever was like the original person who like uploaded whatever that video was. I know at least for a lot of my content I would be reacting to, I'm reacting to someone's like video edit or something like that, to where it's like, here's me reacting to it, but then even putting something up or in the description or in the comments where it's like, hey, if you want to check out the original person who uploaded this, here's their channel name or something like that.
Okay, so I did use some another YouTuber stuff, right? And I thought he was a done and gone. Like this guy has like 200 something thousand, maybe 300 support. I don't know. He's got a lot of subs, but he quit doing YouTube and he was a concrete channel. But he did a funny video and I reacted to it and chopped it up and made it like we were having a conversation. But I did give him credit. I tagged his channel in it. And then I find out, which I'm going to do a part two and a part three. I'm just waiting for the right time. I find out he's got a whole nother channel and he's a marksman and he's got over almost a 500,000 subs over there. And just from my comment section, I figured that out. So they were like, be careful talking about him. You know what I mean? I talked to him and I tagged him and I talked to him and he was like, hey, do a part two and a part three. I'm just happy people are laughing about it in 2023. You know what I mean? He said, thanks for tagging me. So if you do use another YouTuber, even if he's done, you think he's done and out of the game, still tag him in the title, definitely. Or put them in the description, but it's hard to read descriptions on
Right.
YouTube Shorts, so I feel like I would throw them in the title, but sometimes you can't.
So with making short form content, is there anything else that people should know or try to implement with their content?
All right, so I'm just brief strategy. So on our timeline, we got the hook at the beginning. We're actually telling the story in sections. We're not telling it all at one time. We're voice recording it in sections. Shout out Ryan Trahan. That's where I learned that from. But yeah, so we're recording it in sections. We're not recording it all at the same time live, so we can keep our energy up and we can think what we got to say. So we're doing that. We get down to the end. We get it ready to upload. Um, I know you're not big on these, but hashtags. If you're a new channel, you got to use them. If you're an established channel, you probably don't, but I still do use them. But look, if you're a new channel, you want to use hashtags. You want to use probably 4 hashtags, 3 to 4 to 5 hashtags. I put them in the description. You can put them in the title too, but I put them in the description just to get YouTube to know what kind of content that you're doing on these shorts, where they should push it to, who they should throw it at. Um, if you're new. If you're established, you probably don't necessarily need to. So I use 3 to 4. I use hash specific and then one big one. What I mean by one big one is WTF moment, hashtag shorts, something that they use a lot, but your general one's going to be concrete, blah, 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 uh, concrete float, concrete, whatever, concrete finisher. I'm not going to say the exact, what I mean, but uh, you want to use that, but I always use one big one or GoPro, something big that's kind of niche specific too. GoPro was a good one for me, but I also threw in, and this one was kind of, I always threw in trucker because truckers are always watching shorts or listening to shorts as they're driving. Um, they get into those, and I always threw trucker in there, and it seemed to help me out, or something like with the trucks because I always wanted to push it to them. But so I got my hashtags in there, and I'm ready to upload it. I got it. I go ahead and right before I upload it, in your top screen, you're going to see your short, and it's going to have a little thing on it. You want to. That's how you do your thumbnail. Right before you upload it, you click that. You got to do this on a phone, or yeah, not a tablet, not an iPad. You got to do it on your phone. So I upload my short from my phone. If you want to throw the YouTube music in there, you can. Sometimes I do that on certain songs, but you want to put that thumbnail in there, and you in the thumbnail you can't upload one. You can just pick a scene out of your. You know how to do it, Colin.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
to
I'll,
pick a
I'll put it
scene.
on screen.
Yeah, okay. So you have to pick a screenshot basically of your video. But so as you're editing, you want to think about that, and you want to make sure you can put an arrow in it, and you can have a thumbnail basically like Mr. Beast does. I studied, Colin. I studied how Mr. Beast was doing it. They used to they used to let us re, they used to let us edit shorts after we posted them. You could still edit them. So what Mr. Beast would do is he would put an actual thumbnail picture in at the very end, upload them as unlisted, and then edit that back part off after he
Oh,
made the thumbnail picture. And it wouldn't be, and it was so crispy and clear. And I'm like, how is he doing that? And I finally figured it out. But it's kind of cool when you figure it out on a big YouTuber. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I never did that. And now you can't edit them, so
right.
he probably has shorts still edited from 6 months ago that he's putting up. You know what I mean? Mr. Beast, shout out Mr. Beast. But it's kind of cool when you learn how. But you can do thumbnails now. So when you're editing, make sure you got a scene that's a thumbnail picture. You want to edit a thumbnail picture into your scene. That's very important because some guys aren't using. You find shorts through search, browse, and I can't remember the other one, but I can't remember. I just know it works. Make sure you get a thumbnail picture in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we may agree to disagree on like the hashtags part.
Yeah.
But like even still adding hashtags as a new creator, like I know hashtags are clickable on YouTube where you can pull them up. Um or even like make a series with them, or if you are using those popular ones, like if someone clicks that hashtag, they're all going to be listed there. Um and especially with the thumbnail too in search, like I think that is something people are seriously overlooking,
Oh yeah.
because they have their own shelf on. So now you have, like, you might have the one or two videos there, and then you have the short shelf like you can be right near the top ranking with your video, and people
Yeah.
can click on that, watch you, start to get into your short content, and then other stuff could get recommended.
Yeah.
It's just
And that's
huge,
branding too.
huge opportunity. And they this is something I found out is I was actually watching my younger sister. She was like going to karate or something, and so she needed to look up a video on how to tie the belt.
Yeah.
So she ends up leaving the house, and I come back out and I turn on the TV, and she's on a short on the TV. And so I click the back button, I look, and there were 3 videos that were all long form with millions of views that she could have clicked on. And she's like 13, I believe. And
Yeah.
she skipped all those 3 long forms to click on the short that was in search because, hey, I'm going to get this exact same information in less than 60 seconds. And I want to do this quick. And it was like the light bulb went off in my head. It was like, this is like real world experience of, because, there's different generations on YouTube. Like I might still click on a long form for a
I'm
tutorial,
not.
but it's like she
I'm
immediately
not.
skipped it all. She went right to the
Yeah.
short, and you could easily have all your content there. The different topics you talk about. So don't, think about suggested, obviously using that same, like the strategy you brought up too, but, man, there's just so many different opportunities with shorts. Like you don't have to necessarily fight the short shelf and hope that the algorithm picks you. You can sometimes just pop up in search and go from there.
That's something you mentioned. I would say, and I still think there's a huge opportunity for search-based shorts. I prefer to, if I'm trying to find something quick, I'm not clicking on a long form video. I don't want to hear an intro and all this stuff. I just want to get right to the point and get a tutorial. I'm clicking on a short if it's something like, what I mean? But if I want to learn how to use my new Insta 360 Go 2, Go 3, I mean, I'm gonna watch a long form, you know what I mean? But if I need something very specific, like how to format a SD card on that or whatever, I'll probably just click on a short. It just depends on what it is, but I think there's a big opportunity in search-based shorts. Any shorts, if you do shorts and you're consistent with shorts and you do shorts, you have the branding and stuff. If you do shorts, you're gonna get to 10K. If you're consistent with shorts, you're going to get to 10K pretty quick. I promise you.
100%. 100%. I've seen
Yeah,
it happen with brand new creators easily getting to 10K. Um,
consistent.
Consistently.
Yeah.
And maybe to wrap up the call here, um, what do you have any final thoughts? And I'm also kind of curious, where do you see, I know you mentioned you wanted to pivot out of kind of reaction content just because like everyone else was doing it. Where do you see like the shorts content going, or what are you currently like trying to get into?
Pivoting. I already know where I'm going. I still like voiceover content. I'm not going to give away too much, but I think I just said it without saying it. And I'm not going to copy nobody exactly. I got my own style, but so obviously it's a winter time. I can't necessarily do certain things how I want to, as far as filming. So I'm not giving up on the shorts yet or doing what I'm doing, but as of right now, but I am looking to pivot, and uh, I like that. There's another girl that out of Hawaii or something that does a lot of that same style of content, and I see a lot of smiles, I see a lot of good times, and I see a lot more. Um, I think if you got as many views as I got and you were that style of a content, I would already have 1 million views. Now being in the little bit of the hater rate, but I got a lot of good fans. But doing the kind of the hater rate on the people messing up the concrete, some people just subscribe just to see me fail. But I think if I show them a different look, my real self, because on that, man, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of played a character. You gotta kind of up your game a little bit and play a little, like I don't always talk like that, but I know in a video I had to up my energy. So, you kind of gotta up it a little bit. Some people say you're playing a character, whatever, man. Well, I'm just me. It's always me. You might be inspired by somebody else. That's not playing a character. I don't know. Think what you want. The haters don't really bother me anymore. I got what's cool about me is I got a big channel, but I got a small, uh, I feel like I got a tight knit small community kind of. And I also shout out, I don't know what community to call this, but it's like the Thunder Gang community. It's a bunch of people that have been in the struggle, but we're on our way out, man. A lot of us, and there's a lot of guys that live stream, and I kind of joined that community. I told you I got Shorts Creator of the Year. This is kind of in this community, but they like people that live stream. So what's next for me is I'm gonna on the long form is I'm gonna try I'm gonna try a little IRL pouring concrete streaming
Interesting.
with the I promise hey you're gonna see me out there, or it's probably gonna be like this, but I want to do it just for the pours a few times, and have somebody read in chat or something for me, and just to kind of have some fun with it. And I already got a good live streaming community because I've been part of this community, and they all man, shout out to all those guys. I don't know what to call it. I'm gonna call it the Thunder Gang community because they know, and affiliates. Even the trolls that are in that community, they come strong, and they're supportive trolls. They're good dudes, man, and they don't even mind being called trolls, and it's so my next move, man, is I told you on Shorts, it's gonna be I'm gonna be Trahan-esque a little bit, trying to, what I mean, having some fun because I really like that dude and he inspires me. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being inspired by somebody, especially if he's younger than you. You know what I mean? But he's killing it, man, and it worked once, so why not give it another try? Because I'm not gonna sit here and do something that everybody's doing. So there's kind of your answer. The IRL thing, if it does get a good, people do like it. You never know. I might try swing it over there to Kick and just do it every day. You know what I mean? So nobody's done it. When you're the first person that does something, that's something I didn't really say. When you're the first person that's done something, you you can set a precedence. You know what I mean? There ain't nobody over there streaming concrete videos on Twitch or Kick, but I you never know. I don't even know nothing about those platforms, but I do know when you're the first person to do something, that you can do, I've seen it so many times. So if you're out there and you're kind of small, do something different than everybody else is doing. I hired a homeless guy. Uh, I hired a homeless guy off the street after I got my first viral video. What gave me that idea is one of my buddies was holding up a sign that said I'm a concrete finisher misspelled, and it gave me the idea to hire a homeless guy. Those are my two biggest videos, and I did something different. I drove an hour to pick one of my subscribers up because he was having a he was struggling depression, and we had a talk on the way back, and people loved that video. I took him back home. I gave him some concrete tools. I tried to be different than what everybody else was doing, and of course some people make fun of it. Some people, they don't get it. And but whatever, do your thing. This is me. I'm trying to be different because if the only time you can, the times you do, I've noticed that I've done good is something I've done different. Is that, can you agree? Like when you made your first CapCut video, can you agree to what I just said? Because your story is damn near the same thing. Everybody was doing CapCut videos with no English, usually just the captions underneath of it, in like AI voice or something. And Colin came in, had smiles, gave value. That's the first thing he did. He gave value. He had smiles. He grew a community, and look, I popped out of it.
That's awesome. So with your short form content, and making money with it, because you obviously got monetized, you hit 1,000 subs. How has the revenue side been for you with getting like the over like 250 million views on your shorts?
I'll tell you this, man. It was it was about 80% of what I made doing concrete. I made about 80% on top of that doing YouTube. So if I made 100% of on concrete, you got 80% is what I made on YouTube. It's close. That's not just off shorts. I have hit a couple million on long form. So my long form's up to a couple million, but the rest of that's all in shorts. And some people say you can't make money in shorts. You can make money in shorts. You can definitely make money in shorts. If that's what you're trying to do. And there's lanes in shorts, I promise you. But people that say you can't, you can. Um, but YouTube Shorts, you never want to count on. People say you never want to count on uh, Google AdSense ad revenue. Well, you definitely don't want to count on YouTube Shorts Google ad revenue. Uh, I'm just saying that thing is up and down more than long form for sure. So I'm definitely trying to transition into and not just transition like I want to build my community in long form, not just for the to because it's pays better, but like because you can build a better community over there, and you can actually get to know people. I definitely talk to my subs. I respond to the comments. I definitely recommend that if and it depends on what niche you're into. Some people can't respond to the comments, but I try to at least heart them. And if they're my guys, because I got some people that I'm close with on here. If they're my guys, I definitely respond back to them and say thanks. And but yeah, trying to transfer over to long form because that's where the community, that's where everything's really at. There's a little bit more stability over there, and it's just more fun. It really is more fun. That's how I started YouTube. I was a long form creator. I'm not a shorts creator. I mean, I am, but one of my subscribers said it perfectly. I feel like he's like, man, you're good at long form and you're really good at shorts. He's like, but you're good at both of them. He's like, you really just need to be more consistent on long form, and so I really don't want to hire an editor. The reason I was slow kind of on long form, Colin, is because of the organization on CapCut. It is
Mm.
so hard to be organized on the mobile. Uh, I've been shooting from the hip, but I've been making good videos. I've just been shooting from the hip. That's another reason I'm trying to get on this computer because of the organization. And I feel like if
Yeah.
I'm organized, once I get it organized, I'm on it. I'm already started editing, but I don't know how to use the Premiere Pro. But that won't be nothing. There's YouTube tutorials for that, so I'll get that figured out real quick. I just don't need to be lazy about it. I've got an easy one that I'm gonna do, and a guy told me last night. He said, "Challenge yourself." I was on a panel last night kicking it with some guys, and he said, "Challenge." He was in the chat. He said, "I gave the question out." He said, "Challenge yourself," and I said, I thought about it, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna learn Premiere Pro." That's what I'm going to learn it just for the long form stuff because it's been shooting from the hip for 2.5 years. Once I started doing the hard edits, because they're hard for me on CapCut if you're not organized, man. It's well, you know how it is. You make a. I've talked to you about it. You
Yeah.
make a something before that. You cut something out before that, throws everything off the timeline. There's no timeline locks. I talked to CapCut about it, and they said it is in the desktop version, but like the guy said, challenge yourself. And I really thought about that. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna challenge myself to learn Premiere Pro.
Yeah, you'll 100% be relieved with a professional editor and see more CapCut flaws. And that's why, like in my
Yeah.
more recent video on like best video editing apps, I was like, CapCut is a shorts editor, and that's where it shines. And it's like, whereas
Hmm.
LumaFusion is much more designed for like long form and podcasts because they have a timeline that's like Premiere Pro, and then they also have the organization as well, where you can like make little like bins basically or files where it's like here are all the clips in there, and it's wonderful. You're gonna love it. You're absolutely gonna
I
love it.
can't wait.
All right, and as we wrap this up, do you have any final thoughts to say?
Well, I definitely want to give a shout out to my dad because he's my business partner and he's a lot of help. Shout out Pops, the old man Grub Mud, and um, want to give a shout out to my community, everybody in it. Not my community, but the community I'm in. And I also want to just say, man, if you're struggling with anything, don't quit. Fight through it because look, if it's just like editing. Once you start, if you fight through it, it's going to be worth it at the end. You're going to come out with something beautiful, just like an edit. Uh, if you fight through it, like me, man, I hate to say it, but like I used to be in the dumps. I used to be addicted to the hardest things basically on earth, and I didn't give up, and you know been through a lot, but I don't want to get into all that, but it is possible, and it is possible, and I even see more light at the end of the tunnel than where I'm at right now. Even though at 250,000 subs, I want that other plaque. What's that other plaque called?
That gold plaque.
Yeah, I want that one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't give up. If you're struggling, don't give up. Keep on grinding. It's worth it at the end, and even it's worth it in the middle too.
Hey, if you enjoyed that interview, make sure you subscribe and check out the rest of our podcast here on YouTube. You can click either on the playlist right here or go to our YouTube channel and scroll through all the list of different podcast episodes we have on profiting from your passion. And I'll see you guys over there.